Hola a todos, ¿cómo están? Qué rico tenerlos por acá en su espacio, en este festival MENAHT. Hoy tenemos el placer de tener a una bailarina, una artista maravillosa. Su nombre es Jasirah de Polonia. Jasirah, how are you? Welcome.
Welcome. I'm fine, thank you very much. And how are you?
Fine, fine. Everything is okay. So we are super happy to have you here in this MENAHT festival, this online Oriental Dance Festival. And we love your work. We admire your work. You have to know that in Latin America, in Colombia, they love your creativity, your talent, and all your art. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much for invitation. I can't wait.
Okay, okay. So let's just start from the beginning. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where were you born? How did you meet and how did you fall in love with Oriental dance?
Okay, so I'm from Poland. I was born in Poland and I still live here. And about belly dance, it's quite funny story. Actually, all my childhood, I was dancing ballroom dance. So in my family, I was kind of always like called a dancer. That the dancer is dancer, dancer. My family likes to have some costume parties, and there was summer 2008 when we had another costume party in my aunt's house. And my aunt prepared a long skirt and coin bells for me. And she said, okay, you will be belly dancer this time and you will teach us how to belly dance. And I was like, but I don't know how to belly dance. Oh, you are a dancer for sure. You know how to belly dance. Well, I didn't know. So, of course, I decided, let's do a little research just for fun. And I was lucky enough to see the video of Sadie and Kaya when they are dancing duo Taksim, and then they dance drum solo. And I was like, and then I decided, well, that is pretty cool. That actually I would really like to learn it, not just for fun, but actually like for myself. So I was sitting on YouTube watching more and more videos, and that summer I decided, okay, since like a new academic year, I'm going to sign up for some classes. And actually that summer I bought like a lot of the tutorials, the instructional DVDs. That time there were DVDs of Sadie, of Aziza, of Jelena, of many dancers. And actually all summer I was practicing with those videos. Then in autumn, in October, I joined some basic classes, and go on. I went to some festivals. I started to join workshops, competitions, and after 12 years, here I am.
So this was 12 years ago that you started.
Yes, and it was just, for fun. It was actually in the beginning kind of like a joke, because it was just for costume, for some family costume party. And somehow this became my passion and my job eventually.
So you were training ballroom since you were young. So it was something serious. You were thinking about becoming a professional, or did you like how can I say you got professional in ballroom?
I was more like a teenager, so it was not that professional because of the age, for example, but I was dancing about 10 years. So it was pretty advanced. It was quite serious, but because of the age, like I didn't consider this to be my job. So yes, it was pretty advanced, and I was really serious about it. But then it finished, and I became belly dancer.
And what was the aspect that made you fall in love with Oriental dance? Were the movements, the music, the freedom? What was it?
Mhm. I think a little bit of everything. One thing was that I could dance alone without a partner, so you totally can depend on yourself. Second was that the movement was actually quite different from what I know from ballroom dance. And I actually really like all those isolated tricks. It was kind of like, fun for me just to practice those isolations, just, for myself, not even thinking about performing with it. And later, when I saw all the beautiful costumes, I started to listen more and more music. I became more and more in love. I started to study history and about the folklores, and somehow, like, I just totally deep inside the whole belly dance culture.
So when did you open your school?
Well, actually, I don't have a school. I just have like, one person business. So I don't have a building that I teach there because I travel all the time. I mean, of course, I don't travel this year, right? Because of the coronavirus. But like normally I travel a few times per month. So it is impossible to have a school, like a building where I teach every day for all year because I teach all around the world.
Exactly. Okay, so Jasirah, tell us a little bit about if you think that is important for Oriental dancers to train other dances as complement, as how can I say, they make your base stronger. Like for example, ballet or for example, ballroom. Do you think this, for example, because we see in your dance your perfect lines, your posture, your elegance. So we see that you have been training or this ballroom or ballet or something like this. Do you think it's important for other Oriental dancers to have this background?
Well, it's quite a hard question because I could say both yes and no. So on one hand, yes, because as much more knowledge you have about any topic, you become better. So even if it's not a dance, but any, like, I don't know, language or cooking, the more you know in this field, the better you are because you have much bigger field, much more options, and you like take the knowledge from many different points of view. So in that field, yes, like practicing ballet or ballroom dance gives you much more like a body control. You are more self-confident. You get the point of view of many different teachers, how they also think about movement in meaning of emotions. Like sometimes the emotions are different in, for example, modern contemporary dance, different in jazz, different in ballroom. So you learn, of course, from many different fields. But then on the other hand, you never put exactly what you have learned on that ballet classes in your belly dance routine. So I don't know, you go to ballet classes and you practice all those positions, but eventually later in dance, you don't just make those basic things. You use this knowledge, but you have to like put it actually in the feelings that are connected with the song, with the music, not just the exercise that is made for you to have better body control. So all the knowledge that you get from classes of ballet or ballroom dance, later anyway, you have to somehow change for our belly dance routine, add a little bit our feeling, a little bit of, I don't know, maybe more hip work that will be coming from belly dance. So in the other field, like you still have to remember that you are not just a ballroom dancer or a ballet dancer, and this knowledge can help you, but you cannot just like put it straight away there and think that it will be beautiful belly dance just because you have beautiful ballet training. And also, I know a lot of amazing dancers who never did ballet or ballroom dance, and they are fine. So they are proof that actually, like following a lot of belly dance training, you can also be successful, and you don't necessarily need to put a lot of those arabesque and extended movements to have really nice Egyptian routine.
Exactly. So, Jasira, how do you train yourself? How do you prepare the choreographies? How much time do you invest preparing these choreographies? I mean, you train 2, 4, 6 hours per week, 1 hour per week. How do you train? How can you keep your body as strong as it is to be able to perform the dance that you do, even if it is méliancé or drum solo or whatever? How do you train?
So it's hard to count like hours because it really changes. And I think all the professional dancers, they know that sometimes you work, you go somewhere. Like I go, for example, to China for 2 weeks, practicing every day 5 hours with my students. Then it's really hard training, like 2 weeks for 5 hours, it's really, really a lot. And then I come back and I really need to relax. I just want to go to massage. I want to just lie in bed, watch Netflix, and give my body this recovery so the muscles can relax. Now, when we are in quarantine and I do not travel, but I'm actually like all the time at home, I have some classes. Again, not every day. When I have free time, then I maybe play some music and drill my isolations. I improvise to have new isolations, new combinations ready for, let's say, I hope, upcoming live workshops, not only online teaching. So it's really hard to say like exactly amount of hours because it changes. Also, when I travel for fun, for holidays, I don't dance. I give my body this time to actually relax and recover. And I've noticed when I get older, unfortunately, I've noticed that actually sometimes it's better if you don't practice too much, but give yourself a break. The muscles, they can recover, and you come back after such recovery and you realize that actually you are really, really strong because the muscles could just relax without all this tension that you put to this body, to those muscles every single day. So it's really hard to count how many hours I practice per week or per day because it changes. I just think I know that I did practice much more a few years ago when I was a student. When I took a festival that was 4 days long, I took part in every single workshop since like Thursday till Sunday, and I like did few different, for example, competitions. I watched every gala show. I had classes, for example, in the dance school that I was working maybe 3 times per week. Then I had workshops that I gave by myself on weekends. So I think that when I was a student, not only a teacher like I am now, I danced much more. And now when this technique is with me, I need a little less time to practice. I just need like remember my body to remind it all the movements, but I don't need that much hard drilling of the combinations because I did this job some time ago. It's like, I don't know, riding a bike that you don't forget somehow.
Exactly,
And,
exactly. So, yeah,
and about the choreographies, it's again like I cannot just count hours like, oh, one choreography, 2 hours. It is impossible to count like this because it's very often many weeks or sometimes even months of process. Usually I choose music first because it is kind of like the music choose me. So I hear a song and then I decide, oh, I need to make a choreography to this song because it just touches me a lot. I really like this way because this is the music giving me inspiration. So I really prefer much more this way than when I have an order for some choreography and I just need to force myself to do choreography. Anyway, the process is usually listening the music really a lot and on many devices. So I put it on my phone, on my computer. I listen it when I walk, when I travel in plane, when I go by car. I try to listen the song a lot and from many different devices. So sometimes, listening on earphones gives you much more details than, for example, listening from computer or from I don't know, YouTube. So I try doing this first, then I improvise, and I actually improvise until I start to catch some patterns. So I dance many times, many days. If I don't feel the flow like dancing today, I just don't force myself. Okay, today I don't have to make the choreography. Next day, for example, I come back to my improvisation, and there are the moments in the song where somehow I repeat all the time the same. I try to record myself and then I catch the moments. Okay, this looks really good in that moment. Let's write it down on paper that for like 1 minute 00 to 1 minute 10, I do this. And then I dance again, improvisation with this little combo that I already decided to be for sure. And then I try to like fulfill almost the whole song with such combinations that they are made during the improvisation. And sometimes the gaps that have left, I decide to improvise on the stage. And if I cannot, because I'm going to teach the choreography and it needs to be done from 0 to 100, then I have a notebook where I put my ideas for combinations. Sometimes when I have a practice, like for myself, I create something that is cool. And to not forget, I write it down in my notebook. So if I have some gaps, sometimes I just open this notebook and like, oh, I forgot half year ago I created this combo. Actually, this would look really cool in this piece of music. So then sometimes I fill gaps, let's say like fake outside, but those combos were created by me also some time ago. And so this is more or less the process, mostly based on improvisation. Sometimes I need some help from combinations that I already created. And then the best is to really dance the choreography many times until it really sits in your body. I even noticed that sometimes I like my own choreographies much more when I already gave a lot of workshops about this choreo. So like I teach so many students, this choreography is already, you know, like overdone 100 times. And then I realized like, oh my God, now I can dance it with like really, really pure joy, because nothing surprising can happen. Like I know this choreography, like waking up at midnight and I can dance it 100% without any change. Then the choreography is like super, super ready. So dancing a lot, something that is already created, helps actually to enjoy even more with the emotions. Like stop thinking about steps that are next to not forget, but actually the body is dancing alone, and actually the brain can like really feel the music and just enjoy.
Exactly, exactly. So you were talking a little bit about the drills and the isolations. For example, with your student at your workshops, what do you recommend to the girls? How to improve these isolations and these drills? What's like the tips that you always give, for example, in your classes?
I usually advise start in slow tempo, because in slow tempo your brain actually can think what to do. Then if after maybe some days you already feel comfortable in slow tempo, it's important to challenge yourself to do it faster. In general, I also think that when you practice many different combinations and drills, upcoming combinations, the next ones, they become more easy because you have much better body control. So you should not give up if in the beginning something is hard and you think it is impossible for me to do this combo. It is just impossible. Really, everything is possible. You just need some time and think about other benefits, that when you will learn one combo, actually you probably are learning few more other combinations in the future that you are not even thinking about them now, just because your brain gets better control on your muscles. So later, eventually, you don't even have to practice some combos. They just are there. Like your body has so good control that your teacher will show you a combo and you already, after one watch, you can dance it because you practiced enough before another combinations. So this is something that I also recommend. Don't think about like, I'm spending so much time learning one combo. No, you are spending so much time practicing one combo, but you are learning much more and you will see it in the future. So challenge yourself, go faster, and then when you already have like faster tempo, try to do the combo, for example, 4 repeats in a row. If you know already how to do one combo 4 times, actually that's enough. Like you will not do it even more in choreography. Like you don't need more repeats of 4 4 repeats for choreography. And then if you feel already comfortable, try to practice the combo with movement before and after. So try to not lock yourself just drilling one combo, because in choreography you will not just stay, make a combo and stay like during the practice, but actually you will make a combo after some movement that was before, and then you need to come also quite fluently to the movement that is after. So later my advice is to, for example, I don't know, make a shimmy, your combination, and I don't know, a kick drop, something that will also teach you the transition between combinations, so you will not look surprised on the stage and the dance will not be like cut into pieces that you have one combo, another combo, combo, but actually they will melt at the beginning and the end of the combinations. They will meet and they will look really fluent. So the last, I think, step is to really practice with other movements before and after, not just drill one movement itself.
Exactly, exactly. Okay, so we were talking a little bit about your style also and your training and everything. So, which advice can you give the students that are just developing a personal style, a unique style? How did you develop, for example, your style, and how can they improve and how can they get their style by themselves?
So first thing for me, as I can say from my own experience, is that I never thought about creating my own style. If you think I have it, thank you very much. I'm very happy about it, but it came natural from learning from many different teachers, but also experimenting alone during my improvisation. In general, I would advise to not think this way that, okay, today I'm starting to create my own style, and you try to do it in some, I don't know, fake way to change your arms in the combos because you think no one did it before. Rather, go to many workshops, learn from many different teachers, because following one teacher, you will always have hers or his like idea of transitions between movements, putting your arms. So learning from many different teachers for sure will help you to have, again, bigger dictionary of movements. Maybe, as we said before, trying a new style will give you a little bit different motion in your muscles, so you will have this visible later in your belly dance routine. But try to not focus that much, I must be different, I must be different, I must be different. Rather think, I really want to be the best version of myself. Record yourself, watch how you are dancing, and think that, oh, this movement looks really good, but it could look even better if my, I don't know, torso would be a little bit leaned to the side, or if my arms will be not here but there. And rather think about what you like, what you want to look like, what picture you want to have in particular movement, than trying to like somehow fake think about, I must be different, I must be different, because it will like be really frustrating. So rather just try to be the best, try to choose the movements that you like, and if you learn from many different teachers, you will have so big variety of movements that you will, for example, choose 2 movements from this workshop, 2 movements from this workshop, but I will make them with the arms from that workshop, and you have something new, even not thinking I need to create something new. So I think this is my advice, to not get so stressed about unique style. It will come natural. Just do what you like, do the movements that you like the most. Try to mix different arms, for example, with different hips, and learn from many different teachers. Just try not to follow one person, because you will always have only this one person point of view. Even if it's a good point of view, it's just one.
Exactly, exactly. So you touch a very interesting subject, which is sometimes it looks weird or forced when you pretend to be somebody that you are not. Okay, when you use perhaps or copy other dancers, you see that it's not natural in the body of the dancer. You know, so. What do you think about the new fusions and the new, how can I say, the trendy movements or styles that are right now? For example, I don't know, about the styles also, or Russian style, or Argentinian style, or Turkish style, Lebanese style. What do you think about this? And what do you think about fusions, for example?
Well, I'm actually really open-minded, and I think that art is for us to try and experiment. And whatever you are doing, you will probably find both people who really like it and people who will criticize it. And if you will just agree that some people may not like your fusions and they may not like your style, that's fine, because for sure there will be people who really like it and they want to learn. So for me, there is no problem about fusions. I actually like to make fusions by myself, mostly with ballroom dance, because I am ex-ballroom dancer. I just try to be like clear with my students, like whatever I'm teaching, I don't know, tango fusion or cha-cha fusion, rumba fusion, samba fusion, I always tell them, okay, this movement is not Egyptian. This movement comes from tango, of course. And like I want them to know what we are using in the dance, and later it's their choice. If they want to use those movements, if they want to perform this routine in the competition. So I'm really open-minded. I think that we should be actually free to do what we want. Like, who am I to tell someone that they cannot mix some dances? Like, really, I don't see the problem. I also think that there are particular styles that are connected with countries, and we cannot avoid it. Like, there will be always some powerful dancer that will have a lot of students, and if those students want or not, they will be influenced by these teachers. So they don't even have to think about copying someone. They don't even have to like, oh, I will copy her style because she is successful. They just are students, they learn from you, so of course they will make a movement like you teach them. And later when you are a judge in the competition, you can see watching students, oh, she is a student of this dancer, I can recognize by, I don't know, arms. Oh, she's definitely from that country because she has a style like this dancer. And I think that's natural. That's something that is really hard to like trying to fight with. Like, what's other option? Of course, like, learn from many different teachers, then you will have different movement that your, let's say, regular teacher. So if you don't want to dance exactly like your teacher from the school where you attend a few times a week, go to workshops out, try to I don't know, take a private class with another teacher and learn new combinations. You will find out different type of movement from another teacher. But like, I think that is really hard to fight with such things, because it's pretty obvious that having such a big world, we cannot be all the same. So there will be some styles creating here and there, like I don't know, all of my students, they probably will have a lot of influence of my drum solo skills and technique, but how they cannot if I teach it to them, right? So I think fine. I'm really open-minded. I just personally try to be always honest with my students and then tell them this is not traditional. If you want to be traditional, then avoid doing this movement because it comes from another dance style. That's it. But I want to be free to, for example, make a tango fusion. I want to have this freedom of art.
Exactly. But in your case, it's very interesting because you have that training, you know, but sometimes, and because you don't go far away from the Oriental dance per se. Because when you fusion, when you add or samba steps or tango or whatever ballroom dance, we still see Oriental dance. I mean, 70% of your choreography, if not more, it is Oriental dance. So you don't lose the connection, you know. Sometimes when you see a performance and it's a fusion, it's so far away from Oriental dance that it's a little bit confusing. What do you think about that?
Well, exactly the same what I just said, that if this particular dancer later make a workshop and she tells to people which movements are from outside and which are from Egyptian, then she is fair. Like, she is fair with her students. Then like, who is going to decide how many percent we have to have in fusion? Like, of course, in competition, we have some like rules that organizer says that in fusion you should have, I don't know, only 30% of tango and later 70 has to be from Bellydance. How they measure that? Like, how they will check if this is 30 or maybe already 31 and you should be disqualified. So if there are someone who will choose like 50-50, or maybe opposite, there will be 70 from tango and 30 from belly dance, like, then what they can do? Actually, it's like, what's the deal? So just be honest, and later when you teach it, tell that this is mostly from tango and I use some belly dance movement. Of course, then person who chooses, for example, performing mostly the foreign discipline in the competition, then such person takes a risk that she will not win such competition, even if she dances really well, because the judges later, they will tell her, for example, it was really beautiful, but it was almost only tango. You almost didn't use any belly dance movement. So it's the risk. If you choose too much of the foreign discipline of dance and making a fusion, that's fine. But then you take the risk that maybe in the competition you will not win because the judges will tell you it is too much already. But then when you dance on the gala show or some open stage is open stage. It's open. You can actually do whatever you like. So I think that that's fine. I just want to be honest with students and tell them so they are not confused why I'm doing this or that step, and later they will not think that, I don't know, some leg movement is from traditional ballet. No, I'm just honest with them. This is not Egyptian. This is from when I was practicing tango as a ballroom dancer. It's not Egyptian movement. And then later they decide what they want to use. So I don't see too much problem about that. I think that we are artists and we are free to actually experiment, and thanks to this we make together a global progress.
Exactly, exactly. So, Jasirah, you are going to give an amazing, amazing workshop in our festival called Drum Solo Secrets. So, what the students can learn with your workshop, what are they going to train with you? Can you tell us a little bit what are we going to see in this class?
So I would like to mostly teach students how to listen to drum solo music and later choose movements. Because this is something that happens to me very often, that I receive a comments, for example, that, oh, I couldn't watch your video with sound because I'm at work, but I recognize the song just from your movement. And this is that makes me something that makes me very, very happy, because this is what I actually want to do. I really like to show the music like it is visible in my body, like I'm the drum that the drum solo is playing. So I try to really listen music carefully, and this is what I would like to tell during this workshop. I would like to play many different sounds that we can find in drum solo pieces, different sounds that can be done on darbuka, how the drummers can create really nice layerings and so on. So later, how to choose the movements that they will look like they are painted for this music. So this is my main goal. I would like to talk about those things, those sounds, how to interpret the music. So later, them making their own choreography, they can receive a comment. Oh my God, this is like the music was made for your dance, not your dance for the music. So this is my goal, and I hope that the students will take a lot of knowledge for making their own choreographies during this workshop.
Super, that sounds fantastic. Super, thank you very much. Okay, so let's just, we're almost finishing the interview. So just the last tips for the students, the teachers, the performers, the last advice, these tips that you can give them to train, to perform, or just to study.
Well, I think that in general we are doing all pretty good good work and good job. Like nowadays in this hard time, professional dancers, teachers, they are really doing great work to stay alive without all the job that we cannot travel and we have to close the studio. So I think all the online work that is happening all around the world, it's amazing, and it actually gave a lot of chances to learn from someone that is on the other side of the globe. So this is something that definitely is perfect, and no advice about that, because we are doing great job to hold our business online and still progress, to not sit down during the quarantine. And about the students, I would say, of course, work hard, practice a lot, because if you will have this technique, you can actually focus much more later on feelings with the music. But then in the same time, I would like to advise to the students to stay yourself and like really follow, I don't know, your character, your mood in the dance. So if in the beginning you don't feel like dancing some particular style because you cannot find those emotions, that's fine. Just be yourself, because I think in general, if the dance somehow matches your character and you are really real in that, you will always success, because you are just not fighting against something. You are not trying to be fake and really fight with something, just running to the success. I think the success will come if you will actually be yourself in all this dance.
Exactly, exactly. So just the final questions about your new projects, next projects, what is coming for you in the future?
So unfortunately, I think not too much travels. I'm afraid that a lot of festivals are cancelled, and unfortunately, they are not going to be organized. Like so far, everything looks pretty frozen, and I'm really actually sad about it, because I really miss the live people energy. But anyway, like I don't give up, and I'm going to continue all my online projects. So of course I'm continuing with my Patreon, where I have pretty big group of students practicing with me every month. I have now much more online private students than I had before, when I was always traveling, not having chance to coach personal my girls, but now I have really a lot of students, so I'm going to continue to coach them. So eventually when we will be back on real stage, they will be with much progress comparing to a few months ago. And yes, unfortunately, mostly online projects. I have some invitations, of course, for 2021, and I keep my fingers crossed that they will happen, that we will soon be less crazy about the coronavirus and we will actually be able to see each other. So I keep my fingers crossed for the upcoming festivals that they won't be canceled. Hopefully we will be able to travel. But so far, I continue to do everything online, and I put a lot of myself to have a lot of community activity to stay in Bellydance, and to, if possible, give some motivations to students to not sit down, but actually have this hope for upcoming events and spend this time very active and actually to make some process and progress still, even if they are at home.
Exactly. Because yes, we know that we are not going to go to the normality as soon as we want. It's going to take some time.
Yes.
So everybody's just taking advantage of the tools that we have right now, the virtual classes, the online classes in Zoom, in Facebook Live, in whatever. So, and I think it's a very difficult situation what we are living right now, but I appreciate and I'm very thankful about this opportunity that the virtuality and these online classes, online shows is giving us, because we have been able to connect with amazing teachers as yourself just because we have these tools, and this time, this place, this moment in the world. So we are very thankful about this opportunity.
Yes, I also think that this quarantine at least has some good sides too. There are some advantages, like really to be able to practice online with many amazing teachers that we would probably not be able to do that in, let's say, normal life. But anyway, I really think that we should stop be so frozen and start to trust to travel and come back to normal life, because if we won't do it, then no one will do it for us.
Exactly. Okay, so thank you, Jasirah, a lot for your time. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much. I enjoy a lot.
Okay. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Thank you for watching this interview. So remember that this is the Festival MENAHT, okay? We're going to have master classes, competition, open stage, everything. So thank you for watching. I'm going to say the same in Spanish. Muchas gracias a todas las personas que se conectaron. Qué rico tenerlos por acá. Este Festival MENAHT va a estar espectacular. Muchísimas gracias por estar acá. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye, everyone, and see you soon.